And you know, you're touching on something interesting, which is that, and I'm not the first guy to say this, but fighting is like a one-night stand. You know, you're trading body fluids with somebody that you don't know that well. You know what I mean? It's like, it's very intimate.
Oh yeah.
It's very, you know, you're gonna know somebody pretty well. I mean, in your case, you're fighting a friend of yours, which I think is hilarious because you guys are gonna end up just beating the shit out of each other. It's always worse when it's a friend.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you know the guy, you're not scared of him. You're gonna fucking go after him. You don't want to lose to this guy.
No.
You don't want to let anything, you know, establish dominance. You know what I mean?
Right. So let me ask you. This is more of a, I guess, a actual fighter question. If you were told that two people came out of the office world, age 25. This is just a hypothetical. You didn't know anything about them. You couldn't look at them.
Sure.
You couldn't see who's bigger or whatever, and you were allowed to just ask sort of questions to figure out who was going to win.
Who's going to win?
You needed to figure out who was going to win. What would your first question be? What would you want to know about them?
I mean, all I would say would be, you know, who was the better high school athlete?
So we are in Venice Beach, and I'm looking for the house of Sam Sheridan. He's an author who wrote the book The Fighter's Heart and The Fighter's Mind, which are all about you know, different fighting sports and what it takes to be a fighter. So it's going to be really interesting just to talk to him and see what his perspective is on my training and the show itself. So I'm excited. I think this is his home, but I'm not quite sure. Hey, how are you? How's it going?
Good, man.
I'm Kai.
Kai, nice to meet you, Sam.
Nice to meet
Pleasure.
you.
But yeah, it's tough, man. And you know, there's sort of no shortcuts. Like, you can't have your 20th birthday until you're 19, right? There's not a lot of shortcuts to getting good at boxing, except for boxing a lot. You know, there's no. I think there's this hilarious kind of, you know, mysticism that we put on a lot of Eastern martial arts, where, you know, if I teach you the wisdom, if I teach you the Zen saying of, you know, touch the leaf inside, or wax on, wax off, whatever, then you can go out and all of a sudden you have mastery, you know. And it's not the way it is, you know. Unfortunately, all the samurai stuff and all the Zen stuff was after 20 years of doing archery. And then you can, if you do archery for 20 years, now, okay, you can talk about being the bow, the arrow, and the target. Right. But you can't do it after a month and think you're going to get it, you know what I mean? It's like, in boxing, there's no shortcuts. You know, you have to take a lot of beatings. You know, there's this old saying, fatigue makes cowards of us all, right? And you'll see it. I mean, and Teddy Atlas talks about it in his book, and it's, you'll see it with, you know, when Nate was gassing, when he was having a hard time breathing, just, you feel like you're gonna die. Now you're not gonna die, right? But you don't know that until you push it. So you need to be able to push through those lines of fatigue. And part of that's conditioning, and part of that's just understanding that this feeling that I'm going to die is not real, and like it's like a Buddhist thing. It's an illusion, you know, that you're not actually going to die, you know, and that you can keep going. From what I could see was, even if you guys didn't realize it, and this may be offensive, but it's like, it's you guys trying to figure out if you're men. Was watching some of your sparring, the first few sparring sessions, and you can see the change on your face. As you realize you can take a punch and it feels not that bad, and adrenaline takes care of everything, you know, it really doesn't hurt. And there's a great quote that I always use called "The world is made of fire," which, you know, it's sort of this idea that, you know, people think they're being safe by not taking risks, but when in fact you're risking everything. You know, you're risking like your soul, basically. You're risking kind of your understanding of the world, and you know, your understanding of beauty and everything, unless you do risk and push yourself and kind of find the limits of what you can do, and then take it a little farther. You know, it's really important to do that, I think, to just to be a person. And it's addictive. It's really hard to get away from. You guys think you're going to be done in a month, and you know, you may not be. You know, it's hard to quit. It's a slippery slope.
mean, you know, what's going on? Tell me.
Well, I worked out. I worked out with Anna on Tuesday. Full day workout, and I got a lot out of it. And you know, we've been thinking it'd be good for the show if we split up. So you know, I was talking about maybe being in my corner for the final fight. Nothing's set yet, but you know, I learned a lot from her that day, and I think it might be good to you know.
I'm just saying, you're not breaking my heart. It's like, you know, you're like the prodigal son that I want to push out anyway.
I know that. I know that. You can focus on your golden child now.
It's been pretty good. I've been reviewing the sparring and the episode, and I can see that you and Anna can see eye to eye, and you're very receptive. I'm not kidding now. You know, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
And you're following each and every directions that's coming from her corner.
Right. Yeah, Angelo a couple times, you know, sent me off in the corner and just talked to Kai. To be honest, that's kind of what's been happening over the last 2 months. That's not really that much different than, you know, the unfair attention Kai's been getting this whole time, possibly because he's the underdog. Angelo likes losers or underdogs or whatever you call them. And you know, I've been advancing a little more quickly, so he's tried to kind of get Kai up to where I am. But you know, that's never really bothered me before, and it didn't this time around. I know Angelo's gonna have to start focus on Kai exclusively, so you know, he can start now. I don't care when he starts. You put Kai with you know, a very experienced coach who's had a lot of success in the amateur level. You put me with a world champion who's backed by you know, Freddie Roach as her coach, and you know, has a ton of experience, both, you know, coaching and you know, training and being a boxer herself. I think the fact that she has been a successful boxer is going to give is really important for me. I kind of think it adds a little more legitimacy to what she's saying, and you know, when she tells me to do something, it's not just like Angelo where he's like texting on his phone, he looks up, he's like, yeah, go run, you know, and then he looks back down again. Like, she's been through the ropes and she's going through them right now. So you know, I'm gonna listen to her advice probably more than I would Angelo's. Oh yeah, there's added pressure to win this fight. Like, I'm gonna have Angelo, like his reputation. I feel like just his whole crew, those guys are gonna be behind me now. I gotta represent for them. Not to mention all my friends and whatever. We're gonna be fighting at the gym that Nate is gonna be training at. I think he's probably sold more Team Nate shirts, so it's gonna be like walking into the Lion's Den. It's gonna be a big away game for me. Can I take it? Everyone thinks I'm gonna lose at this point. I've only met a few people who are like, you're gonna win. So you know, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see if I can do this. I think I can. I really do.